Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Thursday, April 13th, 2023. Let's take a look at the charts. We've got, as you know, we tested long-term support in January, and at that time, we had mentioned how the low 170s are in reach by some point this year. This is backtracking, really showing you the kind of the progression of events. And within a month or so of testing the low 120s, that was more of a 3 to 5 month reality, following the gap above and settlement above in early February above the 136.54 area. So we're about 2.5 months into that. We did not reach the low 170s. We are falling off, but I will say that we are still anticipating the low 170s over the next 2 to 3 to 5 weeks above this zone of support, 155.34 to 157.89. That is really the base of our long-term support. It is in reach within the week, over the next few days perhaps, and it can absorb selling through May. And once tested within 3 to 5 weeks, we can rotate back into the low 170s, where we can actually top out through the third quarter, possibly the balance of the year. If we were to close below 155.34, then we have a meaningful sell signal event that should then play out through May. But I'm just not going to go there yet. I mean, there is the possibility we could unravel all the way back into the 130s over the following several months. But I just don't see us violating this area today. But as we move into next week, I will prep you for what would be the realistic downside objectives. It would be a meaningful sell signal below 155.34. Until then, 155.34 to 157.89 is our primary base of longer-term support. And let's take a look at some of the other levels on the charts. I've got 161.68, this short-term descending channel top is our upward pivot point through the rest of the week and into next. It can contain session activity. 160.49, just above present price levels, is that long-term Fibonacci level. This can still give the market play on an intraday basis, but I wouldn't aggressively buy or sell it. Because I really think it are these formations like at 160, 168 is our session containment, below which we can fall into the upper 150s today. And you've got 158.46 precedes 157.89, that long-term speed line I showed earlier. So that's where you can see here in the support resistance, 157.86 to 158.46. This extreme channel bottom is actually in reach today below 160.168. Now you'll notice 160.168 is also very closely correlated with 160.172, which is this rising channel bottom, but I'm hinging more on 160.168. Yes, 160.172 can contain daily buying pressures. They're 4 ticks difference, but I will say that if we close above 160.168, that is our upward pivot point. Recovery then into next week, I would expect 165.11 within 2 to 3 days. That's up here. And then over the next couple of weeks, actually completing our task of reaching that low 170s long-term resistance. So if we close above 160.168 today, I think possibly by the end of next week, probably by the better part of 2 weeks, the 170-160 formation in reach. If you like the daily Apple report, a wickedstocks.com membership delivers regular daily video analysis in both the SPY and the Triple Q. Weekly video analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and a U.S. Treasury ETF, and 2 individual stock pick videos every week. Do yourself a favor and check out our other content by clicking the link below. Closing above, once again, 160.168 today. You can play the long side if your time frame is anywhere from 3 to 5 days to 1 to 2 weeks, because I think within 3 to 5 days, 165.11, and within 1 to 2 weeks, the low 170s, where not only can profits be taken, but a short position can be executed. That could mean out of the money puts, maybe upper 150 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a month. Now, as for the downside, I will go back to this chart here, 158.46 in reach today, the start of a range to 157.89, able to contain weekly selling pressures, possibly into May trade. And it is really the start of a wide zone down to 155.34 that is better shown, I think, here. convergence of this long-term speed line and this long-term speed line is our trend defining support through May. We can bottom out there nicely in this zone. If we slip into this zone today, and we may, this is an opportunity, if you're not long already, to reach for 170, 172 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. I would go several months out on that to preserve delta. Once again, not going to happen today, but if we did close below 155.34, I think we've got a good high then for the second quarter. We should continue unraveling into May trade, possibly into later spring. And that is really all I think that needs to be said for this particular Daily Apple Report for Thursday. Please click like and subscribe if you haven't already. Be back tomorrow with Thursday's Apple Report, and you have a great day.